rise and stand, voices of the brave echo to the land. Chasing dreams on the edges of fate, with steel in our veins, we will not wait. Call, we rally and war, for the coppers will settle our shore. Populism's fire ignites the night, and your face will shine a light. From the ashes of the past we stride. With iron resolve, we will not divide. The fire burns bright, unyielding and strong. Together we'll sing a defiant song. Hear a call, we rally and roar, for America first will. Rise and stand, voices of the brave echo to the land. Chasing dreams on the edges of fate, with steel in our veins, we will not wait. Call, we rally and war, for the coppers will settle our shore. Populism's fire ignites the night, and your face will shine a light. From the ashes of the past we stride. With iron resolve, we will not divide. The fire burns bright, unyielding and strong. Together we'll sing a defiant song. Hear a call, we rally and roar, for America first will. Rise and stand, voices of the brave echo to the land. Chasing dreams on the edges of fate, with steel in our veins, we will not wait. Call, we rally and war, for the coppers will settle our shore. Populism's fire ignites the night, and your face will shine a light. From the ashes of the past we stride. With iron resolve, we will not divide. The fire burns bright, unyielding and strong. Together we'll sing a defiant song. Hear a call, we rally and roar, for America first will. Rise and stand, voices of the brave echo to the land. Chasing dreams on the edges of fate, with steel in our veins, we will not wait. Call, we rally and war, for the coppers will settle our shore. Populism's fire ignites the night, and your face will shine a light. From the ashes of the past we stride. With iron resolve, we will not divide. The fire burns bright, unyielding and strong. Together we'll sing a defiant song. Hear a call, we rally and roar, for America first will. rise and stand. Voices of the brave echo to the land. Chasing dreams on the edges of fate. With steel in our veins, we will not wait. Killer call, we rally and war. For the coppers will settle the score. Populism's fire ignites the night. And your face will shine a light. From the ashes of the past we stride. With iron resolve, we will not divide. The fire burns bright, unyielding and strong. Together we'll sing a defiant song. Killer call, we rally and roar. For America first, we'll rise and stand. Voices of the brave echo to the land. Chasing dreams on the edges of fate. With steel in our veins, we will not wait. Killer call, we rally and war. For the coppers will settle the score. Populism's fire ignites the night. And your face will shine a light. From the ashes of the past we stride. With iron resolve, we will not divide. The fire burns bright, unyielding and strong. Together we'll sing a defiant song. Killer call, we rally and roar. For America first, we'll rise and stand. Voices of the brave echo to the land. Chasing dreams on the edges of fate. With steel in our veins, we will not wait. Killer call, we rally and war. For the coppers will settle the score. Populism's fire ignites the night. And your face will shine a light. From the ashes of the past we stride. With iron resolve, we will not divide. The fire burns bright, unyielding and strong. Together we'll sing a defiant song. Killer call, we rally and roar. For America first, we'll rise and stand. Voices of the brave echo to the land. Chasing dreams on the edges of fate. With steel in our veins, we will not wait. Killer call, we rally and war. For the coppers will settle the score. Populism's fire ignites the night. And your face will shine a light. From the ashes of the past we stride. With iron resolve, we will not divide. The fire burns bright, unyielding and strong. Together we'll sing a defiant song. Killer call, we rally and roar. For America first, we'll rise and stand. Voices of the brave echo to the land. Chasing dreams on the edges of fate. With steel in our veins, we will not wait. Call, we rally and war. For the coppers will settle our score. Populism's fire ignites the night. And your face will shine a light. From the ashes of the past we stride. With iron resolve, we will not divide. The fire burns bright, kneeling and strong. Together we'll sing a defiant song. Hear a call, we rally and roar. For America first, we'll rise and stand. Voices of the brave echo to the land. Chasing dreams on the edges of fate. With steel in our veins, we will not wait. Call, we rally and war. For the coppers will settle our score. Populism's fire ignites the night. And your face will shine a light. From the ashes of the past we stride. With iron resolve, we will not divide. The fire burns bright, kneeling and strong. Together we'll sing a defiant song.
Right on the screen here, we have a live look of Beirut, Lebanon, and of course, attacks have continued there. Yesterday was the deadliest day in attacks that we've seen in the latest Israel-Hezbollah war. You're one of the few Jewish members of Congress, staunch supporter of Israel, its right to defend itself, of course. Do you support their continued deadly strikes on Lebanon and their argument that the ceasefire doesn't apply there? And do you think it risks a fracture with the White House during this war?
There's a lot of questions there. The key question is, does it risk a fracture with the White House? I would say no. The president has been very clear. The ceasefire with Iran did not include Hezbollah. So no, I don't think it fractures that at all. But Israel is not attacking Lebanon. Israel is attacking Hezbollah. And Lebanon had an obligation to deal with Hezbollah, to control them and to stop them from firing rockets at Israel, which, by the way, includes 700,000 Americans. Lebanon has failed to do that. Hezbollah has failed to disarm. And so Israel is doing what is necessary to not only protect Israelis, but the Americans who live there.
These aren't just Muslims who are dying. You know, Lebanon has the largest Christian population that remains in the Middle East. The areas in southern Lebanon that are being hit aren't just Christian areas. They are so historically Christian. The wedding in Cana, where Jesus performs his very first miracle, where he turns water into wine, is in southern Lebanon. Where Simon Peter is laid to rest is in southern Lebanon. The Christian communities there are as old as Christianity itself. And these are the people who are being hit. These are the people that are being targeted. Israel says, just like they said about Gaza, we're going in there because we're going to take out the Hezbollah fighters because they're attacking us. That's not what they're doing. They are taking southern Lebanon all the way up to, I got to get the name of the river right, but it's the Litani River. Mm-hmm. Up to the Litani River, the goal is to take all of southern Lebanon and to basically make it part of greater Israel. That is what they are doing. Today, Netanyahu's office put out a statement essentially telling the members of the Lebanese army to get away from the final bridge that they have not yet blown that connects northern and southern Lebanon. There's one left that crosses the Litani River. And today, they I don't know if they've hit it yet or not, but that was the warning that went out this morning. So the one place they warned about was they were going to hit this bridge. When they hit that bridge, they have now severed, geographically, physically severed northern and southern Lebanon. Southern Lebanon is what Israel intends to essentially conquer and keep.
I mean, that's what Ambassador Mike Huckabee told Tucker in that interview when he pressed him on it, the Greater Israel Project. Should Israel take this land as part of this this what they believe they have a right to. And he said, yeah, take it all. Take it all. He tried to walk it back later, but it was really an admission of course, exactly what this Greater Israel Project is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it absolutely is. And again, I guess I struggle with the Lebanon situation as a Christian myself. Over Easter weekend, we just had our Easter. The idea is you should be praying for and thinking of Christians around the world. We have a president who says he cares deeply about Christians in Nigeria. And again, as I mentioned, one thing that the war on terror has done over the last 25 years, and virtually no Americans really recognize this or acknowledge it, is we have decimated, Americans have decimated the Christian communities in the Middle East. We decimated the Iraqi Christian population, which was about 5 million people. Many of them died. Those who didn't die fled into Syria, into Lebanon. They fled into other areas. Syria became really the main country for that. They, with the war in Syria and us trying to overthrow Assad and hand it over to ISIS and to Al-Qaeda, we decimated the population there. There has been a systematic decimation of these groups. The Christians in Syria, right, are again, go back 2,000 years. The very first churches ever planted by the apostles were in Syria. And those are the places that we've watched this happen. And now Lebanon almost feels to me like it's one of the last steps in this process to eradicate Christianity from this region of the world. And so just from a religious perspective, I think not only is it sad and is it a horrific thing to watch happening, but also to know that it's American evangelicals who are largely responsible for giving Israel the pass to do this.
The second thing Ghalibaf said, which again I found fascinating, is he said, we refuse to give up the right to enrichment. And I thought to myself, you know what? My wife has the right to skydive, but she doesn't jump out of an airplane because she and I have an agreement that she's not going to do that because I don't want my wife jumping out of an airplane. We don't really concern ourselves with what they claim they have the right to do. We concern ourselves with what they actually do. And I think the president's been very clear on the enrichment.
All right, here you are on the Killer Carl podcast here on a Thursday night. Thank you so much for joining us. I absolutely love JD Vance. All right. Well, we've got my man T Skillet joining us. T, I think it's just the two of us tonight, right? Just the two of us.
We're not going to argue.
If you try, just the two of us, you and I.
That's pretty good. We might get you on tomorrow morning for our...
Listen, no, we're not arguing. I don't even want to go to that. I just had that cold open. I wanted to play. I took some time to put it together. I want to talk about this lunatic, Maria Salazar.
Dignity.
The Dignity Act.
Yeah,
Dignity Act.
See, this is what I'm talking about, sugar words.
I've got a clip.
Phrases, right?
I've got a clip with her on one of my favorite journalists, actually. He used to be on Fox a long time ago. His name is Dennis Michael Lynch, right? And I'm going to play this. So we're going to open up the conversation with this because he has her on the ropes here. And she just keeps on digging herself a hole. And she should probably have shut her mouth a while ago, right? Yeah. And just let this thing go down in a ball of flames. But she can't. She can't because she's a Republican in name only. She's a freaking Democrat.
Yeah, Florida.
Who it is and who it is that is going to process these background checks on 17 million people.
Homeland Security.
Have you talked about how long this is going to take? How long does it take to process 17 million people when I've got, let's even just say 50,000 ICE agents specializing in nothing other than the Dignity Act?
Look, I cannot tell you specifically how DHS is going to manage this, but we give them 18 months to do it.
In 18 months, we cannot process 18 million people. That would be 33,000 people a day if we were working weekends and if every single person was getting a adequate check
But you're concentrating on the administrative part, and then
I'm concentrating on the background check. I am not going to be cool with giving somebody dignity when I don't know who that person is and why they're in my country.
Oh, no. I agree with you, but that's why I say no more than 5 years. You need to prove that you've been here for more than 5.
I still need to know who you are, though, Congresswoman.
Of course that I need you to know that you're a Pepe Perez or Rosa. Of course, I understand. Yes,
and I just don't know how. I just don't know.
You just don't know how.
I mean, fairness. How am I gonna think about what 30,000 people is? 30,000 people is almost a full football stadium. So now, if I'm going to give these illegal aliens 15 million, 17 million, you know it, the ability to go get jobs that now they can compete legally against my kids. They're already competing illegally against them, but now they can compete on a legal end. Now they're going to be able to go get a house and get a mortgage. My kid's going to have an even harder time when he's competing against an extra 17 million people.
I'm going to turn that around. Those 17 million people, most of them are helping for the supply of housing to increase.
By taking 17 million people and giving them what
this lady's nuts.
This is the thing with these people.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to end it there. It goes on a little longer. Here's the thing, right? That Maria Salazar doesn't understand, right?
She's nuts.
I'm just your average guy. I own a small business, a flooring company. I compete with these people all the time.
Right.
Right? They come in, they cut wages. She's talking about them supplying houses. She is taking skilled labor jobs away from our children.
Correct.
Framers, carpenters, plumbers, electricians, drywallers.
Carpet layers,
floor installers, tile installers,
roofer,
concrete people.
Roofer,
these are all skilled jobs.
Yeah.
That American kids used to have. You'd go in the summertime as a young man and you get a job working on the side in construction, and you'd learn a trade and you'd decide, hey, maybe this is something I want to do for the rest of my life. Maybe it's not.
Right.
You're learning building skills. You're learning how to work with your hands. You're learning from skilled professionals. Now those jobs aren't available because of people like her.
Right. You learn to show up for work on time. You learn how to have dedication to something, feel proud about a project you finished, right? And and you built it with your own hands. We started getting hammered with illegal aliens in Florida when the Democratic Party decided to end seasonal workers. Okay. They needed them to stay in the state year round and vote. Okay, that's the bottom line. The bottom line was, they would come in and we had seasonal workers in Florida forever because we have crops that come in, and if you don't pick them, they'll just fall on the ground and rot. Okay, so we don't want that. So the people would come in and pick fruit, whatever they did, and then they would get paid and go home with the money. And then that supported those communities in those port of origins like Honduras, Guatemala, Mexico, the Bahamas, so forth and so on, right? And all of a sudden, and Haiti, right? And all of a sudden, they said, look, we need you to stay here year round. We're going to give you housing. We're going to get your kids in schools. You can bring up your wife. These are all illegals. These are just these are temporary workers.
To be honest, we can't.
So they stayed and extended their stay. They stayed past what they were allowed to stay, and the Democrats were signing them up to vote and getting them to vote and getting their kids in schools. That's how it all started. It started 20 years ago.
We can't just pin this on the Democrats because look at Texas. The Republicans are just as guilty. The Republicans and their big business, cheap labor lobbyists, right? The rhinos, not the America First, the rhino country club Republicans, the George Bushes, the Mitt Romneys, Liz Cheney's, Ted Cruz's. I'm sorry, I'm not a huge fan of Ted Cruz. I'll be honest with you. I'm just not. after some of the statements I heard after January 6th, the things he said
Right.
about Trump and the things he said about the people that were put in prison unlawfully, I don't forget those things, and nor should any other American. You should be taking notes right now on all these people and the way they act, the way they talk about people, and the way they treat loyal constituents that maybe don't agree with them 100% on everything. They turn against them, right? And
well, here's the thing, Carl.
Slavery.
Since January 6th, our government hasn't done anything for Americans. Think about that. Think about that.
No.
You know, they haven't gone out of their way to help us. Zero.
No, and they don't want to. They don't want to. Our government is inefficient, unuseful, and our taxpayer dollars are being wasted, funneled, previously through NGOs. Now they're just finding new ways to funnel it.
Oh, yeah.
You've got crooked people like Gavin Newsom, his wife, Eric Swalwell,
Governor Walz.
Yep, Tampon Tim, Elon Omar, all these people that have been facilitating the theft of hardworking American taxpayer dollars. And at some point, the American people have to say enough is enough, right? Because it's just going to continue to get worse. And what you're going to end up with is you're going to end up with a Mindani. You're going to end up with a Mindani, a guy that wants to now raise taxes in white neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm.
That he wants to target white neighborhoods and raise taxes on these people.
Correct.
Right? And he's looking for these middle income people, the people that are trapped.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The people that are trapped, they can't sell their house, they're tied to their job, they don't have the liquid assets to get out. Right? All their money is in their house, and the value of their house is plummeting. Why?
Correct. Because
New York City is turning into a hellhole.
Yeah.
Why? Because people are sick and tired of the same old, same old. You see, that's what Mandani is. People are sick and tired of the standard traditional politician. That's why Bernie Sanders got a group of young people, college kids, to rally behind him. Why? Because he's saying things that resonate with them, because they feel left behind. They feel left out.
And I agree with you, Carl. Bernie Sanders promised him one thing: free college.
Yep.
They took out these loans, the Fannie Mae or whatever, gave them these college loans so they could live on it. They could get an apartment. College has changed from when I went to school. You had a dormitory. Okay, you had a building of all males. All right, and you had males. There were no females in the building. They were all males. You had roommates. Yep. There were 6 to 4, 6, 8. There were 8 people to one restroom and shower area. Right, sinks, multi sinks. That kind of thing. So you had 4 rooms, 8 people to one bathroom, and you had a hallway. You had elevators. You had stairs. Whatever. Okay. And it was very reasonable price for housing. And then you had a community cafeteria that served breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And you got a meal plan. It wasn't that expensive. Yeah. School wasn't that expensive. Okay. Per semester, you might pay $800 to $1,200. And all of a sudden it all changed. They did away with the dormitories. They let these people build these apartments that it's kind of the same thing. You live in these apartments that each room has its own bathroom. Like you can't share a bathroom. So no, you have your own little kitchenette and your own little bathroom and your own little bedroom, and you pay a fortune for it, right? A fortune. And then you have a community living room, right? And then 3 or 4 roommates share that community living room. Okay, great, whatever. But you're not going to the cafeteria. You got to cook your own food. All of a sudden, that's more expensive. So they had to get bigger loans, more money, and schools went from $800 a semester to $16,000 a semester. I mean, it went crazy, right?
And you have the government subsidizing a lot of these schools that have huge endowments.
Right. $1 billion of endowments. And then Bernie Sanders walks on the scene and says, we're going to forgo all that. If you work for the government, you don't have to pay your student loans. Yeah, student loans. Remember that? Remember,
Yeah.
you work for the government for a year, you don't
Yeah.
have to pay your student loans. How about that?
And that's and Joe Biden
Yeah.
defied
Joe
the
Biden,
court.
Joe
He
Biden,
defied
all
he defied the court. Not that he physically did it, because let's be honest, he had a Jello jiggler for a brain, right?
Mhm.
So he defied the courts. The Supreme Court defied him and continued to try to find loopholes and ways
Right.
to pay off these colleges. Delayed and delayed and delayed payment. Right, and now when that payment comes due,
Mhm.
you're going to have a lot of upset people.
Yeah,
Right?
which
Not
you
at
do.
Bernie Sanders, not at the Democrats. They're going to be upset at the Republicans, right?
Correct.
Why? Because
they're the ones in charge, right?
And here's the thing: you took the loan out, you're getting the education, you should pay it. I shouldn't have to pay for your kids' college.
No,
I have
why
to pay
should
for
I
my
pay for
own.
it? Right.
To pay for my own kids. You should be paying for your kids' college.
I pay for
I've got an idea.
I pay for my kids' college.
Yeah, I got an idea. How about your kids pay for their own damn college?
Yeah, where's my
How about they get a
reparation for college?
freaking job,
Right.
or they get a grant from working at a business, right? And there you go.
So
you're all set.
So we've created this upset young people.
Very upset.
We've created this ourselves. The government has created this. And then all of a sudden they get a little notice on their phone that says, hey, you want to make $150? Go to this protest. And if you get arrested, you get $1,000. All of a sudden now they're making troublemakers. Okay. So yeah, the more trouble you get in, the more you get paid. Tell me that's not happening. It is happening. Okay. Look at the old people that are showing up for these protests. The only reason they're showing up for it looks like a senior citizen exercise march is they're getting paid for it, a couple extra bucks, right?
Yeah. And here's the other thing, right? So I've told you this story, and I've told it on my podcast before. I had Bernie Sanders' campaign reach out to me, right? Because I sign up for all these things just because I want to be in the loop and know what's going on. Reach out to me. Hey, you want to make $250? Get on this Zoom call, right? Got on the Zoom call. Basically all you had to do was talk to a couple of your neighbors, tell them about, what's going on and basically to vote for the Democrats. And you would get paid the $250. Then if you wanted to make more money, you could donate your time and they would reimburse you for it on election day. To go around, make sure people are getting out to the polls. Now, the Republican Party doesn't do this.
They don't do that.
They don't do it because they're cheap. That's why.
Right.
They're cheap. And they would rather keep the money in their own campaigns, right? So that when they lose, they can take that money with them because they're greedy, right? Yep. And instead of actually putting it to good use by throwing it in a pot and doing what the Democrats do. That's why they win. And I'll be honest, I have very, very, very low expectations for the midterms, and there's multitudes of reasons.
And they support fake polls. That's what pisses me off about Republicans. They were pushing that lady in Virginia, the who ran against Spamberger.
Winsome Sears.
Yeah, Winsome Sears. I'm sorry, but for some reason they were pushing bad polls. Said she was the one. They were trying to get the John Reeves or whatever his name was out. They were pushing bad polls, pushed her in to the position, and ran her off of just made up information. I mean,
I said it from the beginning. I
have no idea how that even occurred.
I absolutely said it from the beginning. She is unauthentic. She has the fake outrage, and you can see right through it. You throw her on TV, you throw her on Newsmax, you throw her on Laura Ingraham, and she's like a deer in the headlight reciting, and you can tell it's just she's like reading off of a script. There's nothing authentic about it. She can't think off of her feet, right? I don't know if it's stage fright. I don't know what it is, but she just came off very fraudulent and fake. And I think that resonates with people. And
Right.
that's one of the reasons why you see, as much as people are going to hate it, as much as you see Mendani, he resonates with people.
Right.
He resonates with kids. He resonates with the people that feel like they've been slighted by their government and left behind, even though he's going to do something even worse than them.
Yeah, they have no idea.
He's and I said this before, he's the type of guy that will slice your throat and convince you that it's good for you.
Yeah, he's already so Winston Sears was run as a governor candidate, I think, on fake polls of the reason they needed to get her in there against Spanberger. Spanberger wasn't that strong. You could have won the governorship of Virginia running against Spanberger, because you would have gotten her to either talk or not talk, and then point out that she's not talking. Okay. Then Mamdani comes into the scene, and he just promises he's sugar words and feel good phrases. All right. And what he's going to do, he's already combined 3 major departments in New York City under his control, which means he gets to hire all the people who, when they leave, he's hiring his people, which are all Muslims. And there's not going to be a non-Muslim in his administration. End of story. So good luck. Hope you like it, because, once they get in there, you're not going to get them out. They're going to be like ticks. And I'm not saying that in a racist mode. I'm saying that that's a strategic plan.
Well, and the problem is you chase out all the money, and you're left with a complete welfare state.
And they want that.
They want you're left with a complete welfare state, where now you've got to tax the hell out of the middle class, drive them into more poverty.
Right.
And then when you drive them into more poverty, then you got to go to the federal government and beg them for more money.
Oh, don't worry. When the Democrats are running the government, they're going to give him more money. Trust me. They're going to give him so much money, because he's the kind of guy that's going to kick back 30%, 40%, 50%, whatever it is. Doesn't matter. It's free money to him. So he might only keep 30 and kick back 70. You got to, this stuff in Minnesota, this $9 billion of fraud in Minnesota, this $300 billion of fraud in California, all that money
it all goes back to the Democrats.
It's all coming
all goes back.
Yeah, because it's free money. They could keep 30% and send back 70%. That's why, and nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about it. So now, while we're occupied with Iran, we're distracted with the Israeli-U.S.-Iran situation, they're going to try to pass this Dignity Act, H.R. 4393.
Yeah, what is it, like
that is
26 people already jumped on board or something like that?
Yeah, 29 people have already co-signed it. This is a mass. This is
amnesty.
This is a sugar-coated, feel good phrases bill that says, "Oh, these poor 25 million people have no dignity because they're illegal." Well, get the hell out. Go home. Go do it the right way. We know plenty of people that have immigrated to the United States.
She made a statement,
and they all did it the right way. Go back, get back in line.
She made a statement while she was on there, and she's like, "Oh, you've been here 5 years, 3 years. Listen, I don't care if you've lived here for 20 freaking years and you own a house.
Yeah, tough shit.
You came in here illegally.
Right.
You broke the law coming here. You
took advantage
I look at
of
it as you have stolen
right.
my children's future. You have stole something from my fellow Americans.
And you're not paying any taxes.
You're not. They're not. And the fact that they say they are, and you have your politicians. They could. Okay, well, if they're paying taxes, then they're doing it on a stolen Social Security number.
Correct, which
That's
is
fucking fraud.
That's another felony.
That's fraud.
Right.
And so, you're okaying it by saying, "Oh, they just destroyed somebody's life." You know how hard it is when your social security number is stolen to fix it? It's a freaking nightmare. And the government's not there to help you. The creditors don't care. You know what they tell you? Nah, tough day for a swell guy. Move on.
Right. Move on. So what this bill does is, if you've been here for 5 years, you get this Dignity Act, and then you have to pay $7,000, which you can make payments on. And then you got to pay 1%, whatever, for the rest of your life in back taxes, 1% back taxes, something like that. You got to pay $7,000. Then you got to pay this 1%. And then you get in line. If you can prove that you've been here for 5 years, you get in line to get amnesty. You get in line to become a U.S. citizen. Oh, no, but they don't become a U.S. citizen. Bullshit. These acts, you can
write. It gives them the ability to be able to work and make money in this country and own property. That makes you a U.S. citizen.
Right. And so these bills get changed in committee. They get changed in the rule committee. They come back on the bill gets voted on. Then it goes over to the Senate and it gets changed again, and it gets modified. And you're going to have all these speeches of dignity, all these, like I said, sugar words, right? And then the bill comes back to Congress and it passes. It does not look like the original bill. The rules are all changed. We've seen this. Okay. We've seen this.
It happens a million times.
And then when they can't pass it, when it can't pass on its own, they consolidate it with some big ass funding bill and slide it in.
Slide it right in.
Yeah. And we get to read it after they pass it. And that's a Nancy Pelosi quote, direct, right? Yeah. So this amnesty bill, what it does is, this Dignity Act of HR 4393, it lets all the illegal employees, the employers who have hired all these flooring labor, roofer labor, drywall labor, plumbing labor, electric. You ever seen a job that's done with you ever seen electricity jobs that are done by illegals? Yeah, it ain't up to code, dude. Yeah, it's pretty nasty. Yeah, I mean. Yeah, and you better be paying off an inspector because he ain't going to pass any of it. Okay, he ain't going to pass any.
And they do a lot of times. You see, people don't realize what happens on a job site. Let me just let you in. You're not having, for the most part, you're not having a certified electrician wire your house. You're having a certified electrician on site,
right,
supervising the wiring of your house. It's the illegals that are doing it.
Correct.
And the certified electrician, he's the one that inspects it, make sure everything's good before the inspector comes, right? And that's what's happening now. Listen, there's plenty of palms that get greased, so things can pass inspection. Just look up local lawsuits on builders. Happens all the time. Building inspector never gets in trouble. I don't know how that works. There was a whole Bluebell Country Club, right? Bluebell Country Club, big Toll Brothers development, Arnold Palmer golf course. We're talking upwards of $1 million homes, right? They had these things called carriage houses. It's a glorified townhouses that
cost $3 million.
Yeah, they cost you about $1 million. They'll cost you about $1 million, right? It's a lot of money for a freaking townhouse.
Oh, they've been building those all over Central Florida.
And they were the gable ends were all framed wrong, out of code. They all started to sag. Homeowners brought a lawsuit against Toll Brothers. Toll Brothers paid it, fixed it. Building inspector passed it. Never got in trouble. Still the same building inspector. Just as well as I do, that Toll Brothers, in some way or another, whether it's, vacations, gifts,
hunting trips,
just to get their stuff through as quick as possible, because, we're talking about a huge development.
Got another project.
Yep. Arnold Palmer Golf Course.
Yeah.
The fees to belong to this stupid, you live there, to belong to the clubhouse, the fees, I think, were $800,000 a year. You live there. Yeah. You think that would be part of buying a a ridiculous. I mean, a Toll Brothers house. They're pieces of shit.
Right.
You think that would be part of the fee? No, absolutely not.
You'd pass out if you saw the Village's houses, man. You would pass out. You would pass out. You'd pass out.
Are they factory built?
Yeah, they're slapped together, man. They're slapped together. They're half inch decking for the roof. Half inch. I got on it. Yeah, I got on it because there's a big tornado went through there. And man, you're up there. I'm 255
How is that
pounds.
possible? How is that possible in Florida?
255 pounds, and the roof is shaking like this.
You would think in Florida they would have some type of a building code.
No, they got all wood frame paneling, exterior. Every window leaks. People complain about it, but you know what? They're playing golf, they're swimming, they're doing their fun stuff at the Villages. Nobody complains, you know. And if you do, they just say, "Look, you can't buy a house in here. We'll sell it to the next person." Next, you know. That's Florida.
A line of people waiting to get in there, I would assume.
Oh, yeah, it's all about the activities. It isn't really about the living quarters. Your electricity bill's out the roof because everything is open and leaks and bugs and the whole 9 yards. But anyway, that's another. Well, like I'm saying, that's a whole nother thing.
What do you mean? It's America's friendliest hometown, the Village.
It is. Yeah, it's Americans. That's friendliest hometown. Now, built by illegal aliens. Here's the thing. This Dignity Act doesn't. It gives immunity to the companies who've hired these illegals. Oh,
that's the thing.
That's
the thing to me.
Who wrote this bill. That's who wrote this bill.
That's the thing to me. If you want to end illegal immigration, start targeting the companies that freaking hire these people.
Throw them in jail.
They could do this now because it's illegal to employ them. They could do this right now, but they're not.
Nope.
They're not.
Doing it.
Why? Why? Because they're donors and the Republican Party donors. They don't want it fixed.
Hey, man, the members at Mar-a-Lago, it's $1 million. $1 million membership fee.
That's just
food
ridiculous.
Guarantee. Dude, to belong to belong to Trump's club and rub elbows with the old boy, you got to pay $1 million. Now,
no,
you think those guys you think those guys hire a few illegals?
Of course.
Of course.
Of course they do. Probably most of their
right.
Probably most of their workforce, especially if they're in construction.
So the Democrats, I don't mean to say this, but the NGOs lined up this immigration invasion. How they didn't get the army to stop them at the border is beyond me. I don't know. I guess somebody was asleep. I don't know. But 11 million people hoard in over the border. Right. And then they get distributed into swing states. How do you get 30,000 Haitians to go to Springfield, Ohio? That's got to be cold, dude. When it's cold in Florida, those Haitians are not happy. I mean, they have every stitch of clothing that they own on, and it's 70 degrees. Okay. How the heck are they living in Springfield?
Well, I'll tell you, the government made it so profitable for them to live there. I mean, let's face it. If you're a Haitian and you're faced with the choice of going back to Haiti and dealing with the human cannibal barbecue, or you could go to.
What's the name of a person named Barbecue who actually eats people?
Yes, yes. Or you can go to Springfield, Ohio, and destroy that small community. You can get the housing, you can take all the jobs away from the people, and plus get government subsidies to buy cars and stuff. You'd have to be out of your mind if you're a Haitian to go, oh no, send me back to war-torn Haiti, where I'm probably going to get put on a rotisserie and eaten.
So Somalians are south of Iraq, Iran, UAE. It's south. Okay. So that means it's even hotter, right? In Somalia. How the hell are they surviving in Minnesota?
Well, I can tell you.
I worked in Minnesota in the summertime for winds, and it got to be August. There were snow flurries in Minnesota at the end of August.
Of course. And I can tell you how they do it.
My tan was melting off of me.
They open up daycares and they open up fraudulent healthcare systems and they get millions of dollars of taxpayer dollars to sit around and do nothing, right? And then they can just go on vacation wherever they want to a warm climate because you know what? They've got Ferraris, they've got Lamborghinis, they've got Porsche Cayennes, they've got all these fancy cars, you know, and they've got vacation homes in warm climates. They just got to come here in the summertime if they want to, collect all their grift money from the taxpayer, right? Because they're a bunch of freeloaders, and we allow it. We allow the freeloading, and I'm sorry.
Well, they have got to get an accountant on this to see where the money goes, because I know dang well that has
Where's Elon Musk?
It has to flow back.
Where is Elon Musk? Where is Doge?
Hey, well, here's this. Doge started, Elon Musk started. They started burning all of his dealerships, and all of a sudden he disappears. Where was the government protecting a businessman who owns dealerships that were getting burned down to the ground, Carl?
You know, I can tell you, he was forced out. He was forced out because there was an element of the George Bush Republican rhinos that are embedded in the Trump administration. Susie Wiles is one of them.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And they don't want him there. They don't want these things exposed because they benefit from it too. They don't want America. You see, here's the thing.
It has to be that.
Here's the thing. They want this America first thing done. When President Trump is done, they believe this is just going to go away. They're banking on us losing the midterms. The Rhino Republicans, the Susie Wilds, the Ted Cruzes, all these grifters, Lindsey Graham's, they want us to lose the midterm. They know their seats are going to be okay. Right? They just want us to lose the midterm because then they believe the MAGA movement is going to fizzle out. Right? And that's why I believe kind of what's going on in Iran is a COVID 2.0 deal. I've been saying this for a long time, ever since we started this, to sink President Trump's, to sink his presidency, his economy.
They don't want Rubio to win. They don't want J.D. Vance to win. They want their guy to win. They don't want those two guys to win.
Absolutely not. And George Bush wants his party back. Liz Cheney wants their party back. And when you have people like Mike Pence coming out and applauding what's going on in Iran right now, you should question it.
Yeah, who let him out of his closet? I thought we had him locked up pretty good with a bolt on it.
And you don't have to, like, I'm not asking people to agree with me on my views on this war, but I'm just saying, hey, step back and take a look at what's going on right now. Really step back and take a look at what's going on, and if you do, and you step out of that political bubble, the one that clouds your mind, the one that, people have this, you see it with parents, right? With children of bad parents, right? They get offended when somebody says something bad about their parents, even though maybe the parent was beating you as a child. They get offended because they believe it's a reflection on them. Right. So you have these people in the MAGA movement that if you criticize President Trump or something he's doing or something that you don't like, you automatically are a traitor. You're automatically, as a Democrat. You're equivalent to a Democrat. No. I want to see President Trump be successful. I don't want to see him fall into COVID again.
Correct.
I
hope he wraps this up as quickly as possible. He's already exposed NATO. He's exposed NATO as a worthless organization.
He didn't have to, because we already freaking knew it. And most of us that are America first from the beginning have been saying, why are we in NATO? They suck. They do nothing but take our money.
Yeah,
and we get no benefit from it.
Yeah,
I've been saying that forever.
And okay, so and then we pulled out of the WHO, which we should have.
Yes.
What is the whole purpose of the WHO when COVID was released? When COVID was released, They were covering up information, which is the exact 190 opposite of what the WHO is all about.
And I'm going to say this right here and now, and I said it last night, but I'm going to say it again. China, let this sink in. China dropped the bioweapon on the American people to affect the outcome of an election.
Yeah.
Now, China never paid a price for that.
Nope.
And they never will. Instead, our government just continues to do business with them, right? Continues to let them make our drugs, right? Our President Trump, continues to call President Xi a friend of his.
Yeah. And it's amazing. During COVID, no other country in the world locked up their populations. You remember they closed Shanghai?
100%. Yes.
Remember when they bolted the doors of apartment buildings and forbid anybody from leaving their apartments? Do you remember that?
Oh, I remember.
And the dead people just started to they put their dead people out on the curb in the sidewalks, and bodies were piling up around hospitals. Do you remember that part?
Oh yeah.
It was almost evilish of just bring out your dead. And they'd have a cart take the dead away, during the plague in London. Bring out your dead, right, and throw it in the cart. So
let's be honest. If you think about it from a Chinese point of view, it made perfect sense, because what did this disease? Who did it affect the most? The old and the elderly.
That's right.
They believe that they are a burden on society. So you just wipe them out.
Double pneumonia. They were dead.
You just wiped all them out, and then you just facilitated coming right into the United States, spreading all around the world. To now where you control the PPE and the drugs.
Right. So
right.
It was during their national holiday. So okay, remember how I tell you about that the Asian labor is different. They work 10-hour days, 15 days in a row. They don't have Monday, Saturday, Sunday. They don't have that kind of a calendar. Okay. They do for us because we're ordering parts and we work on a calendar, but they don't work on a calendar. They work on a 15-day, 10-hour day calendar, 15 days. Then so they don't have Saturdays and Sundays. Why Disney built a park in Shanghai for people to go and recreate? They don't have recreation in China. Okay. You don't understand. They don't have it. There aren't any parks for them to go and hang out in and go skateboarding and stuff like that. That's all Western shit. They might make the skateboards. They might make the wheels. They may make all that stuff, but that's not part of their culture. So they work for 15 days. So and then now there's so many Chinese that they take a couple of 100,000 of workers and they send them to Italy to work on projects contracted with Italy, contracted with Germany, contracted with these countries all over the place. They built major casino in the Bahamas. The Chinese did. They had Chinese workers in the Bahamas, right?
Of course.
And then when the project was done, they go someplace else.
Yep.
Okay. So all of them were home for this holiday, right? This 2-week holiday that they go home, visit their folks and everything. That's when COVID was released. And then where did all those workers go, Carl? Right back around the world to work around the world.
Of course.
It was the damnedest thing.
Of course.
What a way to deliver. What a way to deliver a disease.
Listen. And here's the thing.
Nobody talks about it.
No. We need to start talking about it.
Yeah.
We need to start talking about it. And here's the thing, right? As much as I love President Trump, he's not Jesus. Would you agree? He's not God.
Correct. Yeah.
He makes mistakes, right?
He's not the know-all, end-all.
No. He makes mistakes, and he's got a little bit of an ego, and you stroke that ego.
Who doesn't? That's not been a president of the United States.
100%. You have to have an ego to think that you can
that's part of the job.
Yeah, that you can control and fix this great country of ours.
Mm-hmm.
President Trump makes mistakes and he gets led astray.
Sure.
Right? And you know what? I got to do this. I got to do it because people need their memory refreshed, right?
Well, Justin, President Trump was asked moments ago about his conversation with Governor Kemp. There's been no overall change in his opinion, but he did suggest that he could have stopped what Governor Kemp did.
I didn't like to see spas opening, frankly. I didn't like to see a lot of things happening, and I wasn't happy with it. And I wasn't happy with Brian Kemp. I wasn't at all happy because, and I could have done something about it if I wanted to, but I'm saying.
You see?
Oh.
Now, let me explain something about that clip. Let me put it in context. I think we were 2 weeks in. We heard the 2 weeks to stop the spread.
Right.
Brian Kemp's like, all right, I don't see the science. Now, you don't have to like Brian Kemp, and neither do I. He's a rhino too. So we'll just take him out of the mix as far as your personality, whether you like him or not. Take that out of the mix for a minute.
All right.
You had President Trump listening to Dr. Fauci and the scarf queen, Deborah Birx.
All right. Where are their offices, Carl? Where is Dr. Fauci's office and the scarf queen's office is at? It ain't Washington, D.C. It's Atlanta, Georgia.
Of course.
Guess what Kemp had to live through before COVID? They brought a nurse back from Africa who had that disease, Ebola, where your eyes bleed and you die, right? Where your eyes bleed, your mouth bleeds, and you die, right? And they brought a nurse with Ebola to Atlanta to a facility that only had 4 beds. Now, if that disease would have gotten out of that facility that only had 4 beds, we would have had a huge problem in Atlanta. Kemp knew this. I don't think Kemp knew never to believe this guy or anybody he had anything to do with, you know?
Well,
that's just my personal opinion.
I think Kemp used his brain, right? And said, well, wait a minute, let's take a look at the facts here. I mean, because after the 2 weeks, we were all saying the same thing. Why are we not opening up? Why do we keep hearing? And President Trump, well, you know, it would be nice if by Easter, you know, maybe we could all go to church together. And then Fauci would come out and go, I don't know. You know, it's pretty. And then President Trump would just cave.
Yeah.
He would cave. So when you tell me that that President Trump can't be influenced and he can't make mistakes, I'm sorry. You're just a blind dumbass.
Yeah, and this is his first time being president. The worst thing, the worst fear, because it was such a vehicle for the Democrats, man. They were like, oh, hell, this is emergency rulings.
Oh, it was genius. It was planned.
Governors can make emergency
planned
edicts.
It was
everybody must hop on one foot. That's our emergency edict, you know.
It was planned.
Right.
But you know, the reality of it is I believe that they want to tank the economy. I believe that there's Republicans that want to do it. I believe Salazar is one of those people because she's been screaming about these damn illegal aliens forever now. Remember, she was one of the ones that were going, oh, you can't have ICE going and arresting these people. She was one of the ones standing with the Democrats when the whole thing in Minnesota happened.
Yeah.
Right? She was the one coming out. What is her obsession with making these illegal invaders part of our society equal to an American citizen? What is the obsession here?
Yeah. They are forgetting they are lawless. They're lawless. And
they've broken a crime.
They're lawless. And they're going to unleash 10 million employees, 10 million people that are going to take, once again, a whole level of jobs, leaving Americans in the dust. Okay, I'm sorry. And, after a while, these young people, they got no hope. They got no hope.
No, that's why you've got Mandani. That's why you've got them following around, Grandpa Sanders, You know, a guy that looks like he eats freaking pudding at night and hasn't had a solid bowel movement in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, he's like a fossil, but they're following him around, and he was drawing crowds. People don't realize that. Before Hillary Clinton axed him out, he was drawing crowds.
He would have had a better turnout. He would have had a better turnout than Hillary Clinton. And you know what? She's back in the news again today and spouting bullshit. She's
really.
I don't know how she does it. She's got to just do maybe 5 or 6 lines a day, man, just to keep up going, because when she crashes, it crashes. Okay. I mean, when the doctors say, I can't give you any more good feel-good shots anymore, Hillary, I'd say you're at your limit. And then all of a sudden she passes out. Remember how they carried her out of that New York event that she pretty much crumbled and they had to toss her into the car, Yeah. She can't even walk. They went to that meeting in Germany of the great consortium of I don't know, I can't even remember it, but it was something to do with security of the world.
It was a bunch of pointy-headed, washed-up politicians and governors that want to feel important on the world stage.
Yeah. So who goes over?
It was in Munich, Germany.
So who goes over there? Hillary Clinton. What do you mean she has to walk when she gets out of the train? Where's my black limousine? They don't have them. You got to walk down the platform. Oh, okay. And they took a video of her walking. She don't walk too good. I tell you, she can do about those 7 steps. That's about it. She don't.
She's got cankles. She always has. It's those fat cankles, Skillet.
She needs a walker, man. That's what I'm talking about. They need a politician walker, and they can just walk on down the hall. Pelosi walks with a walker, but you won't see her do that when the cameras are on.
Of course not.
Yeah, they give her a chance to get the walker out of the way. Yeah. I like a walker. I have one in my garage that I sit on when I'm working at my workbench now that I finally can get to and do stuff, right?
Why do you have a walker?
I had one for my father-in-law before he passed, and when he would come down from Pittsburgh, he used the walker to walk around the pool. And I said,
that doesn't sound safe. Hey, Dad, take a walk around the pool with your walker. What are you the guy in the Bahamas now with his wife?
It was plenty safe, Carl. Safest thing in the world. Anyway.
Hey, hon, your dad's life insurance is paid up, right?
Yeah, it's 93. I drive around.
Why don't you take a walk around the pool there, Grandpa?
Yeah. But no, the thing has a seat. So if you get tired, you can sit down and relax and talk to people. It's a great invention. But she had to walk. Then you had the Governor Newsom go to that thing, and he talked like an idiot. I mean, it threw him out of the race. What he was spouting. His wife's trying to get him back in the race now, and when she talks, it's even worse for him.
She supposedly killed her sister.
Yeah, they're all just like, oh my God, we don't have anybody to run. And then AOC went over there and she spouted out on some nonsense, and everybody was just looking at each other going, does a thought go up to her head or anything? Because whatever she was saying was,
you know who I could see them trying to tap is that guy from Texas. What the hell's his name?
Gonzalez?
No.
Diaz.
The supposed Christian.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, this guy fits their mold 100%. You just got to rein him in a little bit. You got to refine him. He's a little off kilter, but if you could get rid of the constant transgender talk and talking about Jesus being non-binary.
Oh, that ain't Diaz. That's you mean this guy running for the Senate?
Senate, yeah, that guy.
Oh, he's nuts.
I'm telling you though.
He's certified, man.
Telling you.
He says there's 6 different kind of humans.
If you could refine him and eradicate some of that speech,
it's on video.
I know, but if you could just refine them, and the Democrats, you see, I think they let him out of the bullpen a little too soon.
Yeah.
They needed more time to groom him,
all those videos,
refine him, and then you could have put him out there, because I believe that somebody like him, let's just think about it. He's supposedly this Christian man, right? He was a teacher,
preacher,
right?
Yeah, he's a teacher,
preacher, and
he's another teacher. He's another teacher,
and I mean, fairly well spoken,
Yeah.
and he can come off sincere.
Yeah, he's a teacher.
Yep. And so those qualities are what the Democrats look for. You look at Mandani, that's the mold.
Oh yeah.
For the candidate they want to create. The only problem is you've got to be born in America, unless for some reason the Democrats decide that's not a qualification to be president anymore.
Well, it was one that they really worked on with Obama, because he is still very questioned if he was actually born here. So I mean, they just came out with another name that he went under, that they have a birth certificate somewhere in Connecticut or something. There's something.
Yeah, he wasn't born here. He wasn't born here. He was not. I believe that 100%. That he was not a U.S. citizen.
Well, I think she came from money. She was from money. As her folks lived in Hawaii, and her dad was somebody with the CIA. I don't think I'd have the baby in Africa. I think I would have come home to have the baby, in no matter who it was, only for your own safety too, right, Carl? I mean,
no.
People die in Africa birthing babies, especially boys, especially boy babies. Like, they don't really need the mom anymore. They just need the boy,
Well, they need the mom to pump out more boys.
Yeah.
But
yeah, but this Dignity Act, this is why I've been talking sugar words and feel good phrases, because that is how this is how it's worded. And everything that they tell you on TV is a lie about it. A lie, a complete lie. Because this bill will get changed so many times before it actually gets to the final version to vote on, that it's going to be amnesty for 10, 15 million people. And then we're going to have to deal with that, because they have not paid into Social Security one nickel. They have not paid into any taxes, not a nickel, right?
And if they did it fraudulently, because they stole somebody's identity.
Yeah, and they did not pay into Medicaid or Medicare, not a nickel.
That's a question that I would like to ask a politician when they start spouting off, well, they pay taxes. Well, how are they paying taxes if they're not a U.S. citizen?
Correct.
They have to have a Social Security number, right? So they would have obtained that Social Security number fraudulently, which is a crime.
Which they say is there's 24 million fraudulent numbers and names that they just have in boxes, and when they need them, they use them.
Of course. And that's the thing, these politicians, both sides, they don't want to fix it. They both need it. You think Lindsey Graham legitimately wins election? People hate this guy. They boo him. He was just at an event and literally got booed out of the place.
Right. My friend saw him in
Hate
Texas.
him.
My friend saw him in Texas in an airport. He was just in Florida. Does he ever go to South Carolina?
No, because they hate him there. So how is he continuing to get elected?
I don't know. So is anybody calling? I had on the
I didn't even give the number out
in the afternoon news today. I was talking you up and telling people to call.
Yeah, well, we're going to end it soon, so I'm not giving out the number now. But we will have it Saturday night, and we'll be giving it out Saturday night, because Saturday night should be popping.
Heck yeah.
Every Saturday night. And it is fun to get the calls,
Yeah.
Last night's call I thought was great. I like that guy.
Have you looked at any of our numbers? That was one thing Tyler used to do, is look at our Facebook numbers and our Getter numbers and things like that. Are you looking at anything like that for the stuff that we're doing with Killer Carl Radio Media?
Yeah, I always look at numbers, but
is our shows growing at all?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, if you look at my Facebook, if you look at my Getter's growing crazy. Facebook gets look at my freaking YouTube page is growing like crazy.
Right.
What was it? I think it was 2 months ago. I only had, I think, like 11 followers. I'm up to 13 something now. 1,300.
Okay. So is Panic in Rehab helping at all?
Panic in Rehab doesn't broadcast on my YouTube channel. It broadcasts on its own. And Getter, once you get verified and you start streaming, that just starts to pick up. So yeah, I mean, all the streaming obviously we're doing is helping everything grow, right? And it's a process. It's not, something. It took me 3 years to build 43,000 people on Rumble.
Because I'll tell you,
James
and I've got pretty good chemistry in the morning when we go back and forth and stuff on different topics. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's great. It's good. It's good to go back and forth. You cannot have everybody getting along and agreeing with each other, because then it becomes a circle jerk and very boring. Well, it's boring radio. It's boring TV.
But to keep 19% prevention of prostate cancer, it's good to have a circle jerk. I mean, at least 21 times a month. 21 times a month is what the report said.
What was this, Dr. Ruth?
I don't think I've ever done it 21 times.
Dr. Ruth Westheimer giving you advice on waxing your carrot.
I think I'm going to have prostate cancer. That's my problem.
I think we all are.
Lower thing.
I think we all are. I've been married for
my mom would have sent me to
31 years. I've been married for 31 years.
Yeah.
I have prostate
cancer. 41 years. I think I've had sex 41 times. I mean, that's about it. But I mean, if it was,
you got me beat.
41. If I was doing 21 times in a month, my mom would have sent me to a Catholic away boys school or something.
Now you know why Skillet has hairy knuckles.
Yeah, I don't have hairy knuckles.
I remember they used to say, if you keep doing that, you're gonna get hairy knuckles.
Listen, my mom used to dry sheets in the wind, man, with a clothes hanger. I mean, this was Florida. Your sheets would dry in about 10 minutes. And why would you use a dryer? I mean, the dryer would just make more heat. I mean,
more heat.
Why would you do that? I grew up in an unair-conditioned house in Florida. Think about that. Think about it. They used to have ceiling fans. They didn't have ceiling fans. They had an attic fan. So into your house, you'd have these fans, and it would blow insulation. So you always were itchy in an unair-conditioned house if you had insulation and stuff like that.
Well, that was to keep the humidity buildup out of the attic.
Right.
Houses in the Northeast, we have them too.
Yeah,
and just to keep things flowing through the gable ends.
Yeah, and then you had that fan in the hallway that used to really grumble. Remember that when the vents it would be some contraption,
a big square in the middle of your hallway.
Yeah, had one of those.
The freaking ugliest thing you've ever seen. You'd turn on,
yeah, and it would scare you because it'd be on like at 2 a.m. You'd be going, what the hell is that? What's going on? So then they had these floor fans, and you can see them in antique shops. They look like something you put your feet on with your chair, and you put your feet on it. But it was a fan, and we had terrazzo floors. Every house in Florida had terrazzo floors because you wanted that coolness of the wind blowing around and let it just keep flowing, right? And then Sears started selling those window air conditioner units, right? They sold a million of them, right? And my parents put one in their bedroom. And in the morning, my dad would trip over us because we'd all sneak into their room and sleep on the floor in their air conditioning.
Mom and dad were like, screw the kids.
Yeah.
I need a good night's sleep. Yeah. I'm putting the air conditioner in my room.
Yeah.
Mom, you making dinner tonight? No, I'm in the bedroom.
But we would all sit, and the dog would be in there. We'd all just be like creeping in, man, just creeping in, sleeping on the floor with the AC. That was funny.
So
that's Florida.
You got Kim Jong-un popping off some ballistic missiles with I think it got AI technology in it. Ooh, and they're fragment bombs, right? So they're the ones that Russia has, where they drop payloads and then come back up and then drop back down and drop more payloads.
Why would Kim Jong-un want to even get involved right now? Only because,
well, I mean, if you think about it, he feels like he hasn't gotten any attention from President Trump.
Well, I don't know if you want that kind of attention.
The reality of it, Skillet, is we would never go in and attack North Korea because China would be right there, ready to defend them. That's the secret. That's why he can throw his missiles over top of South Korea and Japan, and nobody does anything about it.
You know, Korea and Japan are mortal enemies. They hate each other. They've hated each other for thousands.
I hate them both.
Thousands and thousands of years.
I hate them both.
We used to have to, like South Korea, if you brought a piece of equipment from South Korea, like a bulldozer or a front loader, whatever, over to Japan, you would have to steam clean all the dirt off of it. There couldn't be any speck of anything from South Korea, or the Japanese customs would refuse it. Period. You know, because they don't want any speck of dirt from South Korea.
That's a little extreme.
Dude, it's the weirdest thing ever. Weirdest thing ever. They hate each other.
But it's just funny to me. Again, the bioweapon China dropped on us.
Yeah.
Kim Jong-un, nuclear weapons, firing off ballistic missiles. Nobody says a peep. It's like nobody's saying, oh, he's the biggest threat to the United States.
I think he would.
Biggest threat to our allies.
I think Trump has made a tactical error, and his ratings would be through the roof if he would have started really getting illegals out of the country. I mean, millions.
I think that if he would have stopped at Operation Midnight Hammer, I think we'd be in a good spot now.
Yeah.
Because my simple question to everybody, and it's always going to be this question: oil prices were low and dropping prior to this conflict. Stock market was exploding prior to this conflict.
Right.
That means oil was flowing through the Straits of Hormuz.
I blame Lindsey.
I blame Israel.
I
blame Israel. You want to know why I blame Israel? They knew that we had a ceasefire, correct?
Correct.
And now, if you have a ceasefire, you don't want any missiles flying in the air, correct? Because it could be mistaken and you could break the ceasefire. That's just common sense, correct?
Correct.
So what did they decide to do?
Lob some into Lebanon, Beirut.
Why would you do that?
Because they just exactly.
Because they don't care.
Right.
Exactly. They don't want this to end. And I'm not trying to just please people. I'm not an anti-Semite. I'm not anti-Israel. I'm none of those things. I don't trust their government. And I don't trust any government because they're all going to have their best interest at heart, not America's. We see that with NATO, folks. They don't want anything to do with this. They're like, you're on your own, baby. Have fun over there. Let me know when the Straits of Hormuz are open. I'll send some tankers over. I mean, we had a couple of ships make it through today.
Yeah.
Indian descent. They were Indian ships. And a couple of, what do we have? We had a couple of bulk containers make it through. They believe that those were Chinese, right?
Yeah.
So again, the only ships that are making it through as of today, I just checked. This isn't fake news. I use an AI news scraper, so it scrapes it from everywhere. Right? The only ships that are making it through are ships that Iran approves and says they can make it through.
All right, so you and I are piloting a ship and say, okay, navigator, killer, take us through the Straits of Hormuz. The first thing I have to do is call the military of Iran. They say that you have to call them and wait for their approval for you to go through.
Yep.
That's what the guy said. He goes, this is this guy that's wearing this white shirt that's got no collar, and he kind of talks funny, and he thinks he knows what he's doing. As soon as he ushered the word, they have to call us to get approval. I would have blown him up right then, right? Had the missile come down and just end the broadcast. That's the end of that.
The problem is,
who else wants to make rules here? Anybody else want to make rules, negotiate? Who else?
The problem that we have is that we're not just fighting Iran in the Middle East.
Yeah.
We're fighting radical Muslims that feel like the West have invaded their land. They're still holding a grudge from when we put boots on in Afghanistan on the ground when Osama bin Laden told us not to. Stay out, just supply us with the weapons. We got this handled. We didn't listen. We put boots on the ground, and we created a grudge. And that still sticks with them. They believe that they are enshrined by God to destroy the West.
I'm surprised we haven't had a big issue in the United States right now. I know we've stopped a couple.
These people are patient, though. You've got to understand, we're dealing with very patient people that, think about, and I know you're going to have the people that are going to be like, oh, 9/11 was a government hoax. I don't believe that. I'm sorry. I believe that Saudi Arabia had something to do with it.
Sure.
I believe that 100%. And that was covered up.
Mm-hmm.
But these people ingrained themselves into our society, became members of the communities, talked to people, were friendly for years. And then one day, they got their marching orders and they decided they were just going to kill Americans.
Yep.
Right? And that's what we're dealing with. You see, because we could take out Iran, drop a bomb on Iran, wipe out the society, but there's a million other radical Muslims that will just be more radicalized by what we've done, that are willing to do whatever they have to do. These people are willing to die. You don't understand that. They're willing to die for their religion. They believe that it's an honor to die for their religion, to become a martyr. How do you convince somebody to strap a bomb to themselves and detonate it in the middle of a crowded marketplace? How do you convince somebody to strap a bomb to their children and blow their children up? That's what we're dealing with. People have to understand.
They've all sold Hugos in the day, just Hugo salesmen that could talk anybody into it.
A Yugo. My uncle had a Yugo.
Everybody had a Yugo or a Lada. Remember, that's a Russian. That's a Russian smelly truck, a Russian smelly car. But
the Yugo was what? That was a French car, right?
It was some crazy country over in Europe, and if you sold so many Hugos, you won a trip, and they.
Ooh.
And this company took all their best salesmen and the president of their company and the vice president, and they chartered a jet, and they put everybody on the jet, and they flew to Orlando, Florida, and they gave them a trip to Disney World, and they showed them. We kept the cars at our barn, at our bus barn, under wraps so the reporters couldn't see it because they were new models. And then we had them delivered over to the hotel for their little show convention, because a lot of car dealers would come to Orlando, go to Disney World. That was part of their package of success, and their promotions. And then they went to New Orleans, and then they went to New York, same charter jet. Carl, if you were a stockholder in that company, would you appreciate that they stuck their whole sales force and the president of the company on one jet? Just think about it. If anything would happen to that jet,
they'd all be done.
The company would be gone. Yeah. It was, and they were saying we went to pick them up at the airport, and I'm asking my dad, I'm like, okay, what planes are they on? He goes, it's a charter. What? And I said, so they're coming in different planes, different times? He goes, no, it's a charter jet. It's a one-stop deal, Tim. Okay.
They must have got one hell of a deal on that jet.
I was like, who puts the president on a jet with the whole company on one jet. Obviously, Hugo did, or whatever it is. Whatever, Hugo.
See, President Trump blasts, this is breaking, President Trump blasts Iran terror regime, dishonorable conduct on the Straits of Hormuz, and oil flow. This is not the agreement we had. Now, he places no responsibility on Israel. Why?
I don't know.
Why can't he just
we're going to find out. We're going to find. Okay, I'm 65. In 50 years I'll be 115, so I'm never going to find out why. But in 50 years,
my question is
kids will find out why in 50 years.
I just don't understand this, because to me it just would be common knowledge that if I'm Israel and there's a ceasefire going on right now, the last thing I want to do is put missiles up into the air.
Yeah.
It's just common sense, folks. I mean, make all the excuses you want, and that's okay if it makes you feel better. But in your heart of hearts, what I'm telling you is true.
Right. Well, we know what started why we entered World War II, right? What was it? It was
Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor, right?
Yeah.
So what started this? That's what I want to know. So
what started this? I can tell you right now. I believe it started. Listen, Israel has wanted to eliminate Iran forever. That's why you have Bibi going back way before 2002, coming constantly and wanting. They're getting a nuclear weapon. They're this close to getting a nuclear weapon. They're that close to getting a nuclear weapon. And it's the same story over and over again. That
okay, so all the missiles that come over from Lebanon are all made in Iran. Because Lebanon's not making them.
And there were missiles that came from Iran into Israel that were made in China.
Right.
Do we bomb China? There were missiles that came from the United States and went into Russia. Should Russia come and bomb us?
Correct.
You gotta be logical about it. And listen, I always try to come at things.
Well, we're not going to attack China. Because
no, of course not. You'd have to be nuts.
It'd be a big hairy ape for that one.
You would have to be nuts.
Too big of a Godzilla.
And that's why we're not going to attack North Korea. That's why Kim Jong-un is allowed to have a nuclear weapon.
I would have warmed up on Mexico first. I wouldn't have gone after Iran.
Do you think Kim Jong-un is a loose cannon and reckless?
Yes.
Me too. Do you think he should have a nuclear weapon?
He only travels by train to China. I mean, he doesn't get up in the air at all.
No.
None at all. Hell no.
Why would
he? Travels by train. Yeah. And China keeps him on a short leash. But I'm telling you, Shea is having a hard time keeping power too. I just think they all are. But hey, they had to kill in Iran 45,000 people to stop a imminent threat of their own people. So that's like the Boston. It's like the Boston massacre times.
You have to consider, and you can research this, that Mossad had a hand in causing that uprising, just like we did in Libya with Gaddafi. Yeah. That was the United States. We sent in CIA agitators to rile up the crowd and convince them. Now, the sad part was Israel went in there, got these people riled up, got them killed because these people weren't armed.
They're not armed. They have been good spies. They have told us where all their leaders are. One guy was hanging out in a tent somewhere in some forest. They nailed him. I mean, a tent. That's pretty good intel if you can find somebody in a tent.
Well, I think a lot of this stuff, the United States has the ability to do that without Israel's help, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't think
Morris. Maybe we're selling them chocolate and
I don't, because we were able to hit Soleimani in a fucking car on the tarmac. Like he was just like there 1 minute. and then gone the next. And you know what? I applauded that. That's okay when you have strategic hits like that.
This is the guy. Okay. This is the guy that's saying they must call our military to get approval to go through the straits. As soon as he exited that last syllable, straight, boom, that would have been the
see you in St. Louis, screwy. Well, and that's the thing, you know. I mean, and the problem is, and I said this from the beginning. Why do you think we didn't go in and secure the Straits of Hormuz before we attacked?
Correct.
Because we can't. We can't. It's a killing field. It's a killing field.
It's a, and I keep showing the satellite image of it. It's a desert on the Oman and the UAE side, and on the Iraqi side, it's all freaking mountains.
Yep.
It's the weirdest thing in the world.
You can't bomb it. If you bomb it, you're gonna create a complete avalanche and shut it down completely. You'll have to get cranes out there to open it up and remove it, and then those cranes are sitting targets.
Yeah,
that's why we haven't went through the Straits of Hormuz. And by the way, you do a little research, and matter of fact, just go to my Substack. Check out the article that I put out today about General Raisin Cain.
Yeah,
warned President Trump. I told you this last night.
Yep,
he warned President Trump. This is not a good idea. The Israelis, unfortunately, do not have reliable intelligence. And this is, not going to be an easy task.
Yeah. I moved back to Central Florida from South Florida, right? So I worked in South Florida. So, I come in on the weekends, I got to do stuff. So I've come back and I'm reorganizing the house a little bit, cleaning out each room. Look at all my glasses that I found in all my rooms. Are
they prescription or
readers? These are all my glasses that I have that I've misplaced, couldn't find. And I got them all stacked up here now in my one location right here, Carl. I feel like Fred Sanford going through the.
Are they all the same prescription?
Yeah. Yeah.
So your eyes haven't progressed and they haven't changed over the years?
No, well, I had a cataract surgery in one eye. I got a contact in the other. These are just cheaters. These are all my cheaters. So I found all my cheaters that I have, right? I found all my cheaters. I have found, and then Lowe's today, you tell me, don't go to Lowe's,
go to Lowe's.
Home Depot.
Yeah.
So I went to Lowe's because that's where women shop. Well, why wouldn't I go to Lowe's? So there I go in the morning, and they had a drive.
Well, if you want to find what you need,
well,
you don't go to Lowe's, you go to Home Depot.
So I go to Lowe's. So anyway,
that's where the gay guys go to. Just saying.
Yeah, whatever. I'm not looking for them. Okay, so I see a drive-through. I see a drive-through in the landscaping area, drive-through, and I'm like going, wow, what they got these cones up for? So I go over and I'm redoing all the landscaping in the house, right, all of it. And so they have a sale on black chips, on black ground cover chips, right? Mulch. So I'm putting in black. I'm putting in negro mulch, black mulch, because it makes the new flowers pop, right?
Yeah.
And it was 3-to-1. I mean, you buy 5 bags for $10, and they were two cubic yards for 5 bags.
I always go with the black mulch. I like the black mulch. I usually go with Scott's.
That's what I got.
Scott's Weed Guard, I think is what it's called. I like that. And is it just me?
5 bags for $10.
Yeah,
so
that's
I
a
filled
deal.
up the back of my pickup truck, right? And then the flowers were $1. I got red flowers, yellow flowers, white flowers, and I had already planted those little blue flowers, right?
Yeah.
And I was for $100 today. I felt like Getty.
You felt like you robbed Lowe's.
I was smiling. I had a smile. I had a low smile on my face. I thought I robbed the bank.
There is nothing better. And I was saying this to my wife today. I took my wife to the doctors, and afterwards we went to the store.
Yeah.
And there's just nothing better than the smell of fresh mulch.
Oh yeah.
It just makes you feel good inside.
Yeah, well,
I don't know what it is. It's the sign of spring, I think. When you smell it, you're smelling spring.
Well,
right?
everything's growing. I've been putting in the right kind of potting soil or the ground soil,
You know what I
got a little
did?
fertilizer in it.
Don't do this, folks. I had a pumpkin or two pumpkins that I'm a believer in when you grow things, you layer your soil, right?
Mhm.
So you put your biodegradables on the top and layer it and layer it, and then as it breaks down, you mix it in, right? So I smashed a pumpkin up, two of them, and threw them in my garden over the winter. Well, now Carl's growing pumpkins, and I don't want to.
Well, what these guys do is grab.
They're in my backyard, thank God. But
we'll get one big one and then graft some more whatever to them, graft them to the pumpkin so it'll grow into size of a small beetle,
and I plant it.
Beetle.
Never plant mint.
Mint.
I plant it mint, right? 'Cause I like mint tea. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I got rosemary out there.
I'm gonna plant some mint, cilantro, all kinds of stuff, right?
Yeah.
The mint has taken over everything, and don't plant it because it's like a freaking weed, and it'll just take. I mean, I can't kill it. I've ripped it out. I've left it die into the winter, hoping it would just freeze and go down to the roots. Nope. It comes back. That and what are those damn things? They're like leaves. They come out of the ground and then they get these tall, skinny things. I can't think of what the hell they're called.
Tulips?
No.
Iris?
No, they're almost like plants. They're plants, obviously, but they're I can't think of them, but they're the worst, right? So I planted them a couple of years ago, thinking it would be a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Beside my beautiful triple bloom rose bush, the best rose bush I've ever had in my life. The thing is just beautiful. It blooms. The only thing I'll say is you have to trim it multiple times throughout the year because it grows like nobody's business.
Right.
Hyacinths. That's what they are. I think these things are a pain in my ass.
I'd grow some weed for your neighbors, man. Just kind of make peace and throw them a couple of buds over there.
You know what? I could grow weed here and nobody would say a effing thing.
You can grow in Florida. You can grow 6 plants, 6 or 8 plants.
Where do you have them?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's like, I'm not telling you.
Shit. I smoked in college, and if I got high, I was going down to eat pizza. If I didn't have money for pizza, I was eating the rinds of the pizza left on the tables from other people's dinners. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. The uneaten portion of pizza. We called them rinds, right? Go down and eat some rinds.
Yeah, and we got to do something about the cost of healthcare in this country.
It's crazy.
Even with insurance. I mean, my wife got blood work done today, and it was $1,000.
$1,000.
Yeah.
I'd kill the doctor. What test does he want all that blood to go to?
It was they took like 5 vials and then just some other stuff.
She had like 30 different things he wanted.
And it's just a physical.
Hell?
All it is a physical. So $115 for the visit. $150 for the visit.
I have to go to LabCorp 3 times a year. I know, man.
I mean, really great doctor. I'm not gonna lie. My wife loved the doctor. Very nice, great. But yeah, and there's no way it costs that much. That's the sad part.
No,
there's no way it costs that
I got
much.
I got a new doctor, so I moved. I left my doctors in Fort Lauderdale that I loved. I got this new doctor, and he is Mr. Oh, you have to go on Ozempic. I don't want to go on Ozempic. He goes, you're obese. I said, I'm 6'3". I weigh 250 pounds. I have a 44 waist. Kiss my ass. I'm not obese.
What the hell is he talking about?
I'll kick your ass. I'm not obese. He goes, "Oh, you got to go on Ozempic. Got to go." And he gives me a free sample, man. He's like jabbing me with the Ozempic. I'm like, "What are you doing?" You know, because it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. See, look, it doesn't hurt. So I go, "Okay, how much is it?" "Oh, your insurance will pay for it." Well, my insurance doesn't pay for it because that trucking company's smart. They don't pay for it, right? And so it's $1,200 for a 50-day supply. $1,200, 50-day supply.
That's ridiculous.
I'm not doing that. So then he goes, "Well, you need this patch that goes on your arm, and it monitors your blood glucose 24 hours on your phone. You always have to have your phone." Well, now you got to have the phone with you at all times, or it beeps.
And it's collecting data on your blood sugar, probably sending it to China.
Okay. I've already got an athletic tape over it because I'm working in the yard. I've lost 2 of them because they just sweat off. They just disengage and sweat off. And this cost $200 for a 90-day supply. The insurance company paid $600, and I paid $200. Again, a tester is $24, and the little strips are $10 for 30 bars. So I told the doctor, I said, "Hey man, you might be used to millionaires, but I ain't paying this. I can just jab my finger and test my blood and write it on a piece of paper and give it to you." That's what my other doctor did. So kiss my ass. But these doctors, man, they're either making
because they get kickbacks from the pharmaceutical company
or something. It's crazy.
They get, I knew a couple of pharmaceutical reps.
Yeah.
And, your doctor might get a vacation, he gives out some samples, pushes a certain product, maybe they win a vacation, maybe, they get a nice dinner out, you know how it is with the expense cards where, the company allows you to spend a certain amount of money to entertain prospective clients.
Yeah, your flooring manufacturers aren't taking you out, are they, Carl?
No, I occasionally will get, maybe football tickets or hockey tickets, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it.
I don't get nothing. It was illegal in the insurance industry.
It should be illegal.
It's illegal. You could lose your license if you took a cup of coffee. Here's the rule in Florida for insurance. If somebody gives you a bottle of water, you're allowed to take it. Thank you very much, Carl, for a bottle of water. Thank you. Yeah. But at a later date, I have to come back to your house and give you a bottle of water. Now, you could write a letter to the insurance commission saying that you gave Tim Swope a bottle of water and he did not reciprocate at a later date and give you a bottle of water, and they would take my license away.
Are you serious?
I am not. I am 100% serious.
I would never take a bottle of water from anybody. I would die of thirst before I would do it.
Exactly. But now you're an asshole because you didn't take a bottle of water from this nice old man that gave you a bottle of water. See,
I would explain. I'm sorry, sir. If I take your bottle of water, you could come back and I could get my license stripped. So it's not worth the bottle of water. I'd rather just dehydrate and die.
Yeah. So you try to settle a claim with an older person who's offered you a cup of coffee, because you have to do the same thing. You have to come by later at a later date and give them a cup of coffee. Okay.
Can you pay them for the cup of coffee?
That's the law. Yeah, you could pay them $30.
Here's $1.50.
Yeah.
I don't want your money.
I know. It just makes it so awkward.
It is. When I used to install for Lowe's, any tip you got, you were supposed to hand over to them so that they could make a charitable donation, right? So I was a subcontractor for them. I'd go in and install the floor. If you got a tip, Lowe's wanted you to give it to them so they could make a charitable donation with it. By the way, get the tax write-off, not me, the guy that was getting the tip.
You didn't get tipped very much, did you, Carl? Not at all.
Never. Well, it's like I'm really going to tell you this guy gave me $300. Oh, here you go. Here you go, Lowe's. It's like, what kind of a policy is that?
This is the craziest. It just makes it awkward, Yeah. It's just awkward.
Well, anything to make it. Hey, real quick before we go, I think this is funny, and so I want to end.
Go through your commercials, and then we'll cut it off.
Yeah, we will. You know what? Here we go. I want to play this then. But I also have to do for my commercials because I made it easy, right? And I forgot about this, but let's see here if I got it loaded up. Yeah, right here. Boom. There you go, right there, baby.
Iron Bean Coffee, which is very coffee. And how do you say that name?
Meraki Medicinal.
Meraki
Methylene
Medicinal.
Blue. Patriot Pouch USA and BeyondDetox.com / Killer Carl. Look, support my advertisers here on the Killer Carl podcast. It helps my radio show. It helps this. And,
when do you start your syndication?
Well, they're in putting together a promotion package for me, right? And so once that's done, we're going to go from there. And we're going to start the launch.
And what days of the week are you going to be doing?
They're just going to take my Saturday show.
Oh, they're just taking your Saturday show.
The Saturday show for now.
Yeah.
And then 12:10 WPHT in Philadelphia. They have what they call a float 3 o'clock hour, 3 to 6. And I've been offered to come in and fill in there a couple of times.
And just have us call in at different segments of it. Have James call in, have Jacob call in and do a section of it. Have us call in,
Yeah, 1210 is a pretty big audience. They cover Pennsylvania, big port of Philadelphia into New Jersey, so they've got a huge audience. So that'll be kind of awesome. So I want to play this before we leave, though, because I find this hilarious.
The Tiger Woods arriving at Augusta and his
that's funny, but this might take the cake over that because.
Hey guys, Hunter Biden here. I just got a call from Andrew Callahan. He asked me to come out on the Channel 5 Carnival tour at the end of the month. I think we start in Phoenix and then we go to San Diego and we end in Albuquerque. And I think he's trying to organize a cage match, me versus Eric and Don Jr. I told him I'd do it, 100% in, if he can pull it off. And if he can't, I'm still coming. And I think he's got a lot of other surprises up his sleeve, a lot of fun. And I hope I can see you guys out there. You can get tickets online right now, and I'll see you out on tour.
That's desperation. That's desperation for money. That is 100%. I need a buck or two.
You have not seen a photo of his long-haired kid or his South African wife in a year.
That's because she's over in another country banging other dudes.
She is gone, man.
You remember the video of her on the beach with the two guys just freaking gripping her up?
She met him. They got married when he was in the throes of legalities of being arrested, right, for tax evasion. He got married within a week. Within 1 week, he met this. He was introduced by his attorney, and she was dating a land developer in California. And he gave her a ring, which the attorney gave him the money for the ring to buy her. And they got married within a week. Carl, it was love at first bite, right? I'm telling you right
now. Love at first intercourse.
And married with a ring. If that ain't white trash, I don't know what is, man. I have no idea.
I would pay good money. To see a cage fight between Hunter Biden and Don Jr. Because there's a lot of hate there.
Oh yeah,
and
he would kick.
It would be worth. I drop good coin to see that.
Oh yeah,
I'd
pay $150.
I'd pay more than that.
No, I wouldn't pay more than that. I'd just wait for you to tell me about it.
I would rather drop $1,000 on that over Blood War.
I would never pay. I would never pay $1,000 for anything in my life. Never. I buy flowers for $1 a piece. I was so happy. I kept going back. I'd fill up my cart and go back. I was like, this is great. Big
Now
Tony.
you're gonna be selling them on Facebook for $2.
Hey, I didn't have to go to somebody's house and pick them up. Hey, Carl.
Now you know what. Now you know where he got the flowers. He bought them for $1 and sold them to you for double the price.
No, those plants are growing pretty good. They're growing. That hedge is coming in, man. It's doing pretty good. But I put in that number. I put in the 6th zone, right? So all my other sprinklers are working perfect, but that new zone I put in, it's already lost power. It's lost pressure, and I wonder maybe I didn't glue a section or something.
You would know. Hey, Starman's in the chat in the getter. Sorry, Starman. I just realized you were there. I had a different screen up, but I got you on there now, brother.
I got to find where it's losing power. How do you do that? How do you find where you just start?
Well, do you have shut-off valves for the zones?
Yeah.
All right. So shut the ones off to the ones that are working.
And see what happens.
And you can pressurize it. You can hook a pressure gauge up to it with a compressor. Run air through it. If it doesn't hold air, it's not going to hold water. Right. And then you should be able to hear where it's leaking underground if you pressurize it. You should be able to hear the.
All right.
Well, look through your lawn too. It's obviously under your grass, right?
Yeah, and I put pavers over a part of it. Half of it's under pavers already.
All right. Well, one way to do it is you would notice like your area if it's like grass where it's like extra wet.
Right.
You would notice that.
I got a lot of dirt. So
if you have areas that are possibly not sealed or whatnot, you're going to have leakage, and leakage is going to seep into that soil.
You shouldn't have enough not to pressurize your sprinklers.
It would have to be a big leak.
Yeah, it would have to be like you forgot to connect it.
Right. It had to be just pouring right into the dirt.
It was working perfect. It was working, and then it just did nothing. I think it's hot.
Are you sure the valve isn't defective?
No, because it's getting water to 2 of the heads. Not
well. What I'm thinking is, I'm thinking he might be correct. The valve may be defective and may be opening, but not fully.
So your actual sprinkler head. Right. So if you're getting it to 2 of them and you're not getting it to the last
5,
you either have a blockage, which I would probably say it's probably more inclined you have a blockage at some point between pipe. What I would do, this is just me, I would take from the sprinkler that works and start from there and start digging up and taking apart. Because my guess, it's between the sprinkler that the last one that works, obviously, and the one that doesn't work. So you either got
the next one that doesn't work,
or you've got a hole.
Yeah, I kind of figured. I think I know where it is. All right.
All right. Hey, Larry, thanks for coming in. All right. Well, Big Tony, you came in late.
I realized that I was going to be because my show ran long, and I had some people come in my chat that hadn't been there in a long time.
Awesome.
And so it ran kind of long. I knew y'all were going to be getting ready to sign off, but I figured I'd drop in here and say, hey, anyway.
I appreciate that.
So
and no fighting. That. We've been like two brothers at the pew, man, talking to the priest.
We never fight. It's just disagreement. You see, here, I'm just going to put this out here to everybody that comes on my show. I come off a little hot at times. I'm not mad at anybody. I love everybody that comes on my show. I don't hold any animosity. It's my personality. I'm a ball buster, and I'm okay with having my balls busted too. I have no problem with it. I don't hold any grudges. When we're on here to debate and have fun. We're going to agree sometimes, we're not. It's going to get a little heated. But when the cameras go off, I forget about all that. We're just still friends, and we're still going to joke. So I'd never take anything personally here. Anybody, because it's an opinion. It's like an asshole. Everyone has one.
Just some smell worse.
And I'm passionate about what I believe, and just like everybody else. And
right. We're all passionate.
We're not. I'm not. Nothing I say is meant to offend or hurt or you gotta have a thick skin. If you don't, you're just not gonna last long in this atmosphere. I have people call me an idiot. I have people send me death threats. I could care less. I had my channel wiped out twice.
Right.
That sucks.
I'm okay. I'm still here. It bothered me for a little bit, but I got over it. It's like, all right, I'll just start over. I don't give a fuck. And so, and that's the mindset really you have to put yourself in.
And evolve. I've evolved.
Yes. Yes. You can't take things personally. You just can't. It'll affect your judgment, and it'll affect the way you broadcast, and you'll be like putting your finger up in the political wind and changing every 5 minutes. You can't care about what people think. You just can't.
I did not realize the Muslim influence that's coming. And it's
dude,
it's inflamed.
Dude, you just don't know, man.
It's inflamed in Texas.
You're starting to see the beginning of it. You're starting to starting to see. Just wait till your eyes fully open.
They are trying to pass in state legislature in Texas that you have to follow some Sharia law to allow religion back in the schools. And if they allow religion back in the schools, that means that all the Muslims get to leave class 5 times a day to pray.
Patterson, New Jersey, the mayor is a Muslim. He wants Sharia law. He said that Patterson, New Jersey is second Palestine.
There are some school districts in the U.S. that are currently allowing that in their schools. And they Muslims get special treatment. They have special rooms that they can go to pray. They can go leave class, 5 times a day to do said prayer. The schools observe all of their Muslim holidays and barely observe any other holidays, whether it be Jewish, whether it be Christian, whatever it might be.
Yeah, you can't celebrate Christmas in any of the schools.
No,
Zero.
Right.
My mother-in-law used to work in a factory called Fent Finding, right? So they make it's an Italian company that makes bags, the sealable bags that you eat your coffee in and stuff like. They make those bags, right? Matter of fact, your mulch probably came in a bag from there. Now they had a very, very large population of Muslims. Right. And they were allowed to take breaks and pray. They had a special prayer room. But if you're a Christian and you said, I wanted to take a break, you would get fired. But they're different standards. They could get away with anything. They could save up all of their vacation time and take off 2 months to go back to go to Mecca. Right. Mm-hmm. Nobody else could do that.
Right.
Then that's the different standards, and we've allowed this to happen. And they use our freedoms against us. They do. They use our freedom of religion. They use our freedom of speech. They weaponize all these things that we cherish and we fought and our ancestors died for. Yeah. And we sit back and we allow them to do it.
They count on the fact that the Western world does not understand Islam. There are people like myself. We do understand it, and we are screaming at the top of our lungs to try to make other people understand it. But as a whole, the Western world does not understand Islam. They think it's like Christianity. They think it's like Judaism. They think it's like all these other religions. It is not. It is not even a religion. And that's words straight out of the Muslim imams' mouths. You know, I have video. So,
yeah. Well, right.
You know, I mean,
and they're really good at liberating $9 billion in fraudulent claims in Minnesota, and even more. You have no idea what are they ripping off in Texas, because they're organized. They're very smart.
Well, yeah,
very organized, and they know the loopholes.
They have Muslim attorneys, you know, that are very, very knowledgeable in the law, in American law. Right. And, you know,
yeah, I know a Muslim immigration attorney.
Right. Exactly. And the thing is, Greg Abbott, he's been doing this and this and this to try to combat, he calls himself combating the Islamification of Texas. And
he's not doing anything.
But what they're doing, they're finding all the loopholes. They're finding all the ways around whatever he might do.
Epic City's being built.
Exactly. That's my point. And Epic City is not the only thing that's going on.
No.
They are making epic cities all over freaking Texas.
Yeah.
And Florida. And our governor,
they're doing it in Florida too.
Just signed a bill to ban Sharia law in Florida.
The largest mosque in the entire country was just opened up in Michigan. The largest of all of them just opened up in Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan has fallen. Michigan has fallen. It really has.
Yes, it has.
And Texas is the crown jewel.
Yeah.
If they can take Texas, they believe if they can take, they've already taken New York City. In their eyes, they've taken New York City. Right? So they've got Michigan, New York City, and they're working on Texas.
Yeah, they have Sharia patrols. They have Sharia police in New York City. They, you know, I mean, they're led by a Muslim, so obviously, you know, they're going to get the preferential treatment. They're going to get all of the things. And by the way, look at the condition of New York City.
Yep,
that's what the rest of the country, when they take over, is going to look. Yes,
I feel sorry for the women. I feel sorry for the women because they go after them first. You know,
but you're the same women that are out there holding the I Heart Palestine signs,
right?
You know, engaging in all these with the hot chicks for Mindani shirts on,
right?
Well, you're going to get you're going to reap what you sow, baby.
During Mamdani's campaign, I watched on television these women sitting in a bar, hot women sitting in this bar. They were watching the television screen, watching the election going on. And, you know, they were, woohoo, Sharia law comes in tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't even know what the hell it is.
They don't know.
What?
They have no fucking clue. They're morons.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Morons.
Well,
all right.
Hey, what size burqa do you wear? What?
Right.
Extra
large. You're going to be wearing a spring break. You're going to be wearing a burkini.
Yeah,
have fun with that.
Yeah, any show of skin is haram. So
yeah, can I buy
baby.
Your leftover skin, your suntan lotion that you had bottles of in your
All right, Big Tony. Where do they find you?
You can find me on Rumble, YouTube, and pretty much all platforms. But go follow me on Rumble or YouTube. And remember, when you watch my show, Big Tony will speak on it.
He will speak. Thanks for dropping in, Tony. And Skillet.
You can find me in the morning at 8:00 on Getter, on YouTube, X, and Facebook. And that's Panikin Rehab. We do an hour show, then I do an afternoon news, and I try to have fun with it. So we have pictures, and we mixed it up. This morning I had a pith helmet on and a safari shirt with a
vest. Did you cover Mia Khalifa today?
Because we were doing animal stories this morning, all crazy animal stories. So I had on my safari outfit. What now?
I asked, did you cover Mia Khalifa today? And I'm not going to elaborate on that. I'm going to tell you to go on X and just type in Mia Khalifa into the search and see what you get.
All right, because I did a big thing on Keith Ellison, the fifth defendant, Grandy Mohammed, 45.
I don't want to do it.
There's gonna be like 4 or 5 posts that are like she put out a statement, and then just keep scrolling and you'll see what I'm talking about.
He pleaded guilty.
It was trending on X before I did my show. So
yeah. So so this Gandhi Muhammad, the last of this Muhammad family who stole $14 million in the nutrition program in Minnesota, he pleaded guilty. He's going to plead guilty or plead no contest. But the reason they're doing it is, and this is the family that met with Keith Ellison, and somebody was stupid enough to film it. And they said, hey, we need more of these deals. We need more of the nutrition programs. You got another program that we can help, Minnesota out of, some more millions. And he goes, well, for that, you have to donate to my campaign. I also need money for my campaign. So that was a complete admission of quid pro quo, right? Tony, to get more things for me, I got to get some things for you. Okay. So you have to pay me and then you get it. Okay.
Well, that's the way it works.
And they caught him dead right, and they got it on video. So yeah, he's in trouble. Why Governor Walz hasn't cut him loose and say, hey, you got to resign, and I'll get another attorney general, no problem. But
well, because Governor Walz is just as guilty. I mean, come on, he is up to here, up over his head, in this, I mean, he's a short little dude, so.
So they are in trouble. They're in trouble. But see, this Mohammed family, they've already pleaded out and been they've pleaded out, and the judge gave them 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have a hard time not stealing $14 million if I knew I only got 6 months.
Right.
I could do that.
Oh, yeah, who wouldn't? All right. I'm exhausted.
All right, buddy.
I hear you.
We're calling it a quits. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget Saturday mornings here on Getter, Facebook, and X, and YouTube. I'll be broadcasting my radio show Saturday mornings, and then the Saturday night free for all is always fun at 8:00 Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to see who we get on for that. But with that being said, have a beautiful Friday, everybody. Enjoy the day.